No one wanted to overlook the reason behind it. The reason why he did what he did, the reason why he even reacted that way, was because of what he found out. And honestly, if you've ever been through it, you already know, it cuts deep. So when Scrappy finally opened his mouth and said what half of the Love and Hip Hop cast had been thinking, the whole conversation shifted. It wasn't just petty shade anymore. It was messy, it was raw, and it was bound to shake things up. Here's the setup. Every time Yandy slips up, fans clap for her. "Yes, Queen, to you, he deserved it," they scream. But let Mendeecees make one wrong move, boom. The world flips on him like he just started World War III. And Scrappy? He's fed up. He said it plain. "We can't win, bro. No matter what we do, we're always the bad guys." And honestly, tell me that's not facts. Haven't we all seen the double standards play out, season after season? The bigger question is, why does Yandy always get the halo treatment while Mendeecees always gets painted with devil horns? Is it favoritism? Is it reality TV politics? Or is the game just rigged? Either way, Scrappy cracked the conversation wide open and the internet wasn't ready. Think back. Yandy Smith, the polished business-savvy queen, always landing on her feet, always one step ahead. The speeches, the Instagram captions, the boss lady energy, it's her brand. But Mendeecees Harris? The same storyline keeps replaying. No matter what he does, he's labeled the villain. Even when Yandy admitted on national television she wasn't legally married, but still played the role of a devoted wife, fans clapped. They called it smart, strategic. Flip the script, though. When Mendeecees questioned if she would have held him down the same way he held her, it turned into chaos. Fans roasted him alive, calling him ungrateful and toxic. Double standards much? That's exactly what Scrappy was pointing out. Word on set is he told producers, "If Mendeecees even sneezes wrong, y'all act like he brought COVID to the reunion. But when Yandy pulls a stunt, you call it boss moves. Y'all ain't fooling nobody." Now that's not shade, that's thunder. And honestly, Yandy has had her share of shady moves. People just forget them. Remember the whole foster child storyline with Infinity? When things got messy, she distanced herself. Fans defended her, saying parenting is hard. But imagine if Mendeecees had done that. He would have been trending for weeks, dragged from Instagram to Twitter nonstop. It's the same story every time. Yandy makes questionable choices. She's applauded. Mendeecees breathes wrong, he's crucified. And that's why Scrappy's words hit different. Because say what you want about him, Scrappy has lived through being painted as the villain too. He knows exactly what it feels like. The internet exploded after he said it. Team Yandy came with the essays. "She's the backbone. She's been through enough." Team Mendeecees echoed back. Finally, someone said it. He deserves grace too. And suddenly, what was supposed to be a subplot became the storyline. Scrappy's truth bomb became the headline producers dream of. And the truth? Once that door opened, the audience started pulling receipts. Fans brought back the infamous wedding stunt. Rings, vows, tears. Then years later, Yandy revealed they never signed papers. A whole fake fairy tale? People applauded her strategy. But if Mendeecees had done the same, he'd have been destroyed. That's what Scrappy was really exposing. Reality TV needs heroes and villains. Yandy is edited as the saint. Mendeecees is edited as the sinner. And producers keep milking the drama because fans eat it up. But once you notice the strings, the illusion cracks. The aftermath of Scrappy's outburst didn't fade quietly. It hit like a bomb going off in the middle of the Love and Hip Hop set. Old wounds got ripped open. Receipts were pulled from every corner of the internet. And the debate about favoritism versus fairness refused to die down. Fans weren't just talking, they were digging, dissecting, and dragging. People resurfaced clips of Yandy making comments that subtly shaded Mendeecees in front of cameras. Like when she claimed she was running the household while he was away, flexing her independence in a way that seemed to strip him of credit. Back then, fans called it queen behavior. But when Mendeecees later asked whether she would have held him down in reverse, he was torn to shreds. He wasn't allowed to question, not even for a second, without being called ungrateful. That's the double standard Scrappy was screaming about, and the internet finally saw it in replay. And make no mistake, Scrappy knew the grenade he was tossing. He's not new to the game. Dropping that kind of truth was calculated chaos. The man basically lit a fuse, stepped back, and let the fireworks show explode. Producers, meanwhile, were sweating. Behind closed doors, insiders whispered about emergency meetings. They feared that if fans actually bought into this favoritism theory, the magic would collapse. Because reality TV only works if the illusion stays intact. Once the audience sees the strings being pulled, the puppet show loses its charm. But instead of silencing him, the network leaned into the mess. Controversy equals views, and views equal money. Rumors even surfaced that producers were considering a Truth and Lies special episode. Scrappy, Yandy, and Mendeecees facing off, cameras rolling, with nowhere to hide. Imagine the spectacle: Scrappy puffing his chest, Yandy delivering one of her polished speeches, and Mendeecees sitting tight-lipped as the audience held their breath. That kind of scene wouldn't just trend, it would break the internet. While producers schemed, the fans built their own storm. Fake DMs started circulating, alleged leaked voice notes, supposed documents hinting at shady finances. Were they real? Of course not. But in the court of public opinion, facts don't always matter. If it looks messy, if it feels messy, it sticks. And in this case, the dirt clung to Mendeecees like glue. Meanwhile, Yandy posted glossy photos, captioned with uplifting quotes, letting the chaos swirl while she smiled through it. Her unbothered act only fueled the narrative. No matter what happens, she wins. The fandom war split into two loud armies. Team Yandy claimed she deserved unshakable support after years of disrespect. Team Mendeecees clapped back that he had paid his dues and deserved grace instead of endless punishment. And in the middle stood Scrappy, both praised as a truth-teller and dragged as a clout chaser. For some, he was brave enough to say what others feared. For others, he was just trying to grab screen time because his own storylines had dried up. Even side cast members jumped in. Carly Red, of course, stirred the pot in group chats, asking people whether they agreed with Scrappy. Rashida tried to play the neutral peacemaker, but the shadow of Kirk's scandals made her words fall flat. And Erica Mena? She slid onto social media with cryptic shade. Some of y'all only saints 'cause editing makes you look holy. No names dropped, but everyone knew the target. Everyone knew the target. That's when the fallout turned cultural. It wasn't just messy gossip anymore, it became a gender war. Supporters of Yandy argued that Scrappy's words reflected a broader problem of men refusing to hold each other accountable. Defenders of Mendeecees argued that it wasn't about gender at all, but about fairness, about refusing to crucify someone who had already served his time and was trying to move forward. What started as love and hip-hop tea transformed into a bigger conversation about double standards, bias, and how much reality TV manipulates its stars for ratings. And through all of it, Yandy stayed calm. Calm to the point of irritation for her critics. Glam pictures, big smiles, motivational captions, acting unbothered while the storm raged around her. Her fans praised her for rising above it. Her critics called it avoidance, refusing to take accountability. But either way, she controlled the narrative, the very privilege Scrappy had been yelling about in the first place. Producers? They couldn't have asked for a better storyline. The Yandy versus Mendeecees dynamic had just been supercharged, and Scrappy's outburst was the gasoline. Add a few side characters' reactions, sprinkle some social media chaos, and boom, instant ratings gold. But the cracks were showing. Once the audience starts to suspect that favoritism is part of the formula, the whole franchise begins to wobble. Where does it all lead? There are three possible paths. 1. The show doubles down, protecting Yandy with glowing edits while keeping Mendeecees stuck as the villain until fans grow tired. 2. The producers flip the script, risking backlash by finally letting Yandy take some heat to balance the scales. Or 3. The nuclear option. Let Scrappy keep talking, let the mess spiral, and watch the ratings climb with every explosion. But no matter which path they choose, the damage is already done. Reputations are cracked, alliances are shaken, and the fandom is split in a way that may never heal, Because what started as petty shade is now bleeding into real life. These aren't just characters. Yandy and Mendeecees are real people with kids, businesses, and lives beyond the cameras. The stress, the constant criticism, the feeling of always being judged, it wears people down. If the favoritism narrative keeps spinning, it could drive deeper cracks into their marriage. And if that happens, you already know the internet will be front row with popcorn, dissecting every frame. That's the tragedy here. Scrappy wasn't just being messy for the fun of it. He was exposing an ugly truth. Reality TV needs heroes and villains, and when those roles are unfairly assigned, the damage doesn't stay on screen. It seeps into reputations, into relationships, into real lives. But maybe that's the reason fans can't look away. The chaos, the bias, the double standards. It's addictive. It's the fuel that makes love and hip-hop eternal. So here we are. Yandy's still untouchable. Mendeecees still catching strays. Scrappy still yelling into the void. Bro, we can't win. Maybe he's right. Maybe men like him and Mendeecees will always be painted as villains no matter what they do. Or maybe, just maybe, enough people will finally see through the illusion and demand a change. But whether change comes or not, one thing's for sure. In the love and hip-hop universe, the mess never ends. The shade never fades. And the drama? It's forever. It's forever.